It's me, Liz. I know that I haven't done a review in a really long time, and last time I said I would be reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and I have used it enough. I saw something in the drugstore that piqued my interest that looked very similar to two of my favorite shades in the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Contouring Palette, and this is in the shade 749A, and this is the shade Dulce de leche. And the two shades that I thought that they were comparable to are my favorites, and that is Banana from the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit and the shade Fawn from the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit. Now, both Anastasia and Wet n Wild are cruelty-free. Obviously, there is a huge price difference. For one of these singles, it's $14, or you could buy the kit for $40, whereas you can find this at Walmart for around $4 or $5. So there is a huge difference in price. There is also a difference in the amount of product. 0.46 ounces or 13 grams, whereas one of these has a net weight of 3.0 grams or 0.11 ounces. Now, obviously, these are different. One is drugstore and the other one is high-end. And obviously in the drugstore there's only two shades, whereas in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette there are 6 shades. This is the light medium one, obviously. The ones that I'm going to be talking about the most in the palette I took out so I could look at the names. So as you guys know, I always wear a correcting concealer underneath my eyes because of my dark circles. So I thought that I would swatch the Wet n Wild Dulce de leche and the banana and banana shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills so you guys could see the difference. I used the It Cosmetics shade Tan, which is the Bye Bye Under Eye. I'm going to start off with the top, which is right here. These are the two that I swatched underneath the concealer, the color correcting. As you can see, one is extremely lighter, and the lightest shade, which is the less pigmented one, and it is slightly more chalky. It does feel smooth, but honestly, the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, it feels a lot smoother and is more pigmented and not chalky. I've honestly had some caking issues with the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and I will probably have some with the Dulce de leche as well. It just depends on how I apply the powder. Sometimes it can be cakey. But then again, there are times when I apply it and it's not cakey at all. So it just depends on my under eye area, because sometimes it can be dry. But this is the highlighter shade from the Wet n Wild palette. This is from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and this is the shade Banana. Obviously, the banana one is more pigmented. It is slightly more yellow, whereas this one I feel would work a lot better for beginners and people who have a lighter skin tone than me. This one would work better for people who are a little more experienced, who like to blend things out really well, because this is just going to be more pigmented, so you're going to have to blend this one out slightly more than this one, and this was just better for darker skin tones in my opinion, especially if you have yellow undertones. They both have a yellow undertone, but obviously this one is going to work for someone who has a yellow undertone that's paler, whereas this one is going to work for someone who has a yellow undertone who is darker. Now, these two swatches are without any base underneath, and as you can see, the lightest one, which is from the Wet n Wild palette, is super chalky and is sheer. You can build it up, but then again, it is going to take a while, and you know, it's kind of to be expected with a product that is lesser quality in my opinion, but it's still relatively good for beginners. Now, the banana shade, as you can see, is more pigmented, and you can build this up as well. I've kind of done this with both swatches just so you guys could see without any base how they look. And of course, I do have a darker skin tone, so I kind of needed to do that to show you guys. I swatched the lightest shades. The first shade that is matte is vanilla. Next to that is the highlight shade, which is sand. The next shade to that, which is the orange undertone, is Havana. The next shade to that is Java. And then the shade closest to the end is Fawn. And at the very end, it is the Wet n Wild contour shade, which is the palest and lightest color. And this is so you guys can see the comparison between Fawn and the Wet n Wild. And I used no primer or base underneath. These are dry swatches. I did build these up a little bit. Obviously, I have a darker skin tone, so I kind of needed to do that for you guys, and I figured that my inner arm area would be the lightest part of my arm to swatch for you guys. Obviously, as you can tell, I think the Anastasia Beverly Hills one is higher quality, so I would recommend if you have the money and if you're a makeup artist or a makeup collector and you're going to be using and doing a lot of contouring, I would go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. Now, if you're a beginner and you do not have a lot of money and you're on a drugstore budget, I would go with the Wet n Wild. Now, if you are just interested in my review for the Anastasia Beverly Hills overall kit, this is what I'm going to say about this. I think that this is for more experienced people, and I think this is for makeup artists and makeup collectors. Obviously, the regular person in everyday life is not going to contour every single day. And that being said, if you want to treat yourself or you like to collect makeup and you like high quality, pigmented, blendable, smooth, silky, high-end products, I would go with this. Obviously, this is also going to be amazing for people who have different skin tones, because if you go on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, they have 3 shades. This one that I have is the light medium, and I feel like for people who are lighter than me, I think that they would have a really hard time with this, and they probably would be better off with this, just because the shades in here are really pigmented and they are dark, and that's just my opinion. Now, if you are, say, Caucasian, technically I am Caucasian and white, but I don't look white. I have just, you know, if you have like the opposite skin tone and coloration under mine, which would be pink, I have a slightly neutral yellow undertone, but that's besides the point. This shade right here, which is Vanilla, is matte. I don't particularly like to use the shade by itself. I'll sometimes mix in Banana with Vanilla to put underneath my eyes depending on the foundation and how light my skin is that day. But other than that, I don't particularly go for this one. Another shade that I don't particularly care for is the highlight shade in here. I just feel like it's way too pale for my skin. It has a little bit more of a chunkier glitter than I gravitate for in my highlighters, just because I have oily combination skin, and more in the summertime it is more oily, and this tends to make my face look like I'm sweating and shiny, and that just does not do it for me. So I tend to stick clear of this highlighter, and plus I feel like a more golden undertone highlighter would work better for me in the first place. This shade right here is Havana, I want to say, but it is the warmest color in the palette, and in my opinion it comes off slightly orange. I don't particularly like to warm up my skin with this just because that's just not my deal, man. I don't like the idea of looking orange, and if you have a paler skin tone than me, then you're going to kind of come off as Oompa Loompa orange, and that's not cute. Now, the shades that I use the most, which are Banana, I like to use this as a highlight underneath my eyes to set my concealer, and sometimes the middle of my forehead, my nose, and my chin area. As I said, sometimes that can be a little bit cakey depending on the concealer and whatnot, and how I apply it. My next favorite color is Java. And what's really great about Java is it has a slightly red undertone, so it looks really natural for giving you that sun-kissed look, like you've been out in the sun, whereas the Havana one is too orange. It looks very artificial in my opinion. The next one that I really like to use is the shade Fawn. This has a gray undertone. This is perfect for contouring in my opinion, because it mimics the shadows and it will give you more of a slimmer look in your contouring. Now obviously I do not use all of the shades in this contour kit, but price wise, $14 for a single versus $40 for 6 shades. You're definitely getting more with going with the contour kit versus buying the individual singles. And overall, I feel like that these are very good quality, and that they blend out and they perform really well. So it's really up to you whether you want to spend the money or not, or if you think it's worth the hype. Obviously that there are so many new contour palettes and shades and kits that are coming out, so you have so much options, it's crazy. I just thought I would finally keep my word and do my review for the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!